It's time for Lagos Update on the City of Lagos TV show, where we bring you latest developments across the city of Lagos. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. On Lagos Update this week, recognizing the critical importance of water stewardship and the need for comprehensive guidelines on drilling and abstraction, the Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission, LASWARCO, in collaboration with the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, with organized private sector on implementation of drilling and abstraction guidelines and water stewardship in Lagos State. The Executive Secretary of LASWARCO, Mrs. Funke Adepoju, alongside some executives of the agency, gave an insight into the rationale behind the engagement meeting.
Today's event is actually centered on groundwater abstraction and drilling practice in Lagos State. Most importantly, the regulation that guides the abstraction and drilling in a sedimentary state like Lagos State. It has become so necessary to do this, and when I say do this, I mean to engage stakeholders on the need to understand what the regulations are and also water stewardship on the part of the private sector. So the meeting has largely focused on private sector players and the drilling family. Outside of that, what we then did was to also bring into that space academia. So we're looking at the impacts, the negative impacts of over-extraction for knowledge, and to understand that when government calls on the players in that industry, they know exactly that there's need for collaboration, there's need for dialogue, and there's need for us to ensure that over and above everything, environmental sustainability is keenly guarded.
Well, what our expectation is for them to buy into the regulation time. This is time in which in drilling, borehole drilling, regulation plays a key role, in ensuring that our groundwater is sustainably managed and protected.
Responsibility of the Commission is to regulate water and wastewater activities in both the public and private sector of the state. And in doing that, we are backed up by the Lagos State Environmental Management Protection Law of 2017 and also the various regulatory techniques that the Commission has put in place to be able to ensure that the law is widely circulated and the guidelines are also widely circulated so that everybody knows what is expected, their obligations and their responsibilities.
For the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, the engagement is of critical importance to Lagos State.
It's such an important resource for the state that we need to make sure that we manage it in a sustainable manner. Right now, the rate at which we are abstracting, I am not sure it is sustainable. I await further studies to be sure that we can back whatever we are saying with data, but just off the cuff, I can tell you that if we continue at this rate, we are sure that the disaster awaits us if we don't curb it.
Some of the stakeholders who spoke to the press spoke on the strategic relevance, value, and benefits of the engagement. They, however, commended LASWARCO for a job well done.
Making people to see that the regulation is not meant to be punitive, but rather to bring in best practices into the water sector. So they have brought in people from all the various subsector to come and talk. People in the civil society, people in the academia, people in the drilling profession and the rest. That is the way to go. So as long as you continue to work that way, the agency will continue to do very well.
LASWARCO and Lagos State government in general takes stakeholder engagement seriously. Because if you do not get the buy-in of citizens, the real owners of the land, into your policies and strategies, then you're not going to be very successful at the end of the day. So it's heartening that LASWARCO is holding this series of stakeholder engagements, but it needs to be deepened. We need to bring in more players, particularly the majority of citizens that are at the grassroots.
It's possible for regulations that are put in place to be effective, for compliance to be effective, for the benefit of all. The Commission has to put a lot of things in place in order to be able to ensure that the guidelines are effective.
And that's it on Lagos Update on the City of Lagos TV show. The show will be right back, bringing you activities from the office of Mr. Governor. It's time for Lagos Update on the City of Lagos TV show, where we bring you latest developments across the city of Lagos. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.